Well, this will also be the retirement place for the Dexter the Blade Jackson, one of the most decorated bodybuilders in the history of our time. And to go out on the Olympia stage and without injury is huge.
That is big.
Plus years.
I've seen Dexter train. You know, I train really heavy and hard and intense, and that's why I had all these injuries and nerve damage. Dexter didn't train really, really heavy. And that's how he stayed. Longevity.
Yeah.
Back in line.
Not that he didn't train hard. I'm never going to say that, but he didn't do the crazy weights.
Yeah, well, let's see what the judges do here. It'll be interesting because we've got a good look at our top four. Let's see who they bring out now.
Rami, Phil.
This is it.
Rami, Phil.
Akeem. And Brandon.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys. Hottie's in this call out, by the way.
Yes, and they brought in Akeem.
Yeah, so now that they've got a good look at everybody, this is where they're jockeying for legitimate top six.
Yeah, top six.
This is the top six.
So there you go.
And unfortunately, Dexter is not in this call out.
Yes.
But he will put on a show tomorrow. Trust me.
Yeah.
He knows this is his last show. He's going to go out smoking. They move the champ.
Brandon and Akeem switch
into the center, and of course, they're going to put Brandon Curry right next to him.
Look at that, Akeem. I think Akeem's is gonna get top six.
Yeah, he's rightfully. And look at the smile he has.
Yeah,
he knows. He's earned the right to be there.
Very, very impressive. I mean, he's the future of bodybuilding.
Because outside of these six guys, who is going to be challenging the sixth place position? I would go towards Hunter Labraga.
Yeah, Hunter.
Front lat spread.
Justin was the other guy. Justin
is the one you like, Justin.
Yeah, Justin. And Chu.
Outside the top six, it'll be interesting what they do with the remaining. But this looks like a legit top six lineup.
This is the top six.
Yeah, and you're leaning towards Big Rami, huh? I mean, he's.
I'm a big Brandon fan because he's like, family man, very humble.
It's the family के बारे में बोल दिया.
Phil Heath did in bodybuilding. You made an analogy of the Muhammad Ali against the Joe Frazier in bodybuilding.
Look at Adi. He's gonna get his shot.
There he goes.
Adi does not speak English. He's up there talking smack. You gotta love it. Rami's looking at him like, what the hell? What are you talking about?
Wow.
All right.
And you're looking at these guys. I mean, from what I'm looking at, I go Rami all the way. But you know what it is? You got to look at the detail of Phil Heath.
Yeah.
The width of Brandon Curry.
Shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, I should say. The thickness.
And Akeem is thick as hell.
Thickness of Akeem, yeah.
Wow.
Also different.
Very different. All these physiques, these six physiques, are all different.
Yeah.
So, at this point, when you're this close, guys, do you start picking them apart like you are, going, all right, in a back pose, he got the hamstring, he doesn't have the lats.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You definitely have to pick these guys apart. I mean, they're all great physiques. But when you look at them and you can, I'm picking apart Brandon Curry, saying his hamstrings are weak. But are they really weak?
Weak by comparison
to a Phil Heath.
But I'm still the guy that's going to go all the way till it's over. Listen, for me, posing counts for something.
Yes.
And this is only the beginning. Again, we have a full 24 hours before tomorrow, and these guys have to entertain us with a posing routine. And if it looks like crap and they go up there and they just call it in, they're not going to score any extra points with me.
Hottie didn't phone it in last year.
No, he didn't. He put in the work. And so did Brandon, which is why I think he's made a worthy champion.
I'm really glad they put Hottie back.
I look at top three: Phil, Brandon, and Rami.
All right, then you're on record.
Yeah.
As your top three.
I take that bet.
And I'm not even going to bet. I'm going to agree. Not because you're the Dragons player. But because clearly it seems like that's where the fight's at.
Yeah, that's the
fight. The other guys are struggling to get those.
That's the top three.
Here comes the Persian Wolf getting on the other side of the 7-time champion.
So what do you think for fourth? Is it William Bonac? Choppin?
I personally got to see the Persian Wolf and William Bonac battle out with each other. I want to see that matchup.
But I'm very impressed with Akeem.
Akeem is definitely
very impressive. I mean, look at his legs. Look at his waist to
This front double bicep, I go with Brandon Curry. He has a prettier front double bicep. He'll still have a massive midsection. And the front
what about the flat spread? I give it to Rami.
Big Rami's just so wide, right?
Look at that.
But Hadi Chupin's front lat spread is nice too. Look at the quads. Look at the width.
You know, Hadi, great physique, but he's structurally not as good as, you know, a Brandon Curry or a Phil Heath or a Rami, just structurally.
Right. I'm not a fan of Phil with the hands on the hips. That's when he loses it because he relaxes the quads, he relaxes the midsections. You see the obliques are a little bit thicker along the sides. You cannot relax in a contest this big.
No.
Lee Labrado was a master at never relaxing.
I'm still blown away by the definition on Big Rami this year. The conditioning, the quads, the separation.
Yes.
In years past, Rich, they've always had a chance to look up at the screen and see themselves hitting the back shot.
Yeah,
they don't have that luxury anymore.
No.
You know, typically in the gym, you don't have that luxury. You just hit it.
You just hit it.
And they have to rely on their...
We did have posing rooms, like where I posed.
Yeah, Gold's Gym had that mirror. We could see our backs.
Yeah.
But the LED screens they have here for this year's Olympia is second to none. They're crystal clear.
I have to say, the stage is beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of the best sets I've seen. They outdid themselves.
Now the LED screen, they can't see themselves doing the back pose, but the fans from the audience and from the pay-per-view could look up and see them with them posing behind. Those shots have been beautiful today.
Yeah, great camera work. All right, Phil is being moved back into the center. Let's see what happens, because the more Steve works Phil, the more he gets relaxed, right? Phil cannot relax as we get into deep water. The fourth quarter of this game, he's got to stay hungry and stay tight. This is where the water will start to beat up on their shoulders, come down the middle of their chest, trickle down their back. Now we're going to find out who's in shape, because the guy that's sweating the less is the one holding the less water.
Now they're comparing Phil to Rami. Or they're putting Rami in the middle, kind of.
Well, I think they've done a good job of letting every guy stand in that spot, with the exception of William Bonek, who's not earned the right to be there yet.
Yeah.
Along with Hakeem, he hasn't had the center spot either.
No.
So it seems like they might have them set.
I think being a newcomer, that he'll get that 6.
Gentlemen, your favorite, most muscular?
I mean, he's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly believe, guys, this is going to be decided tomorrow night.
Yes.
I mean, we can have our favorites, but this is going to be a fight that's decided tomorrow night.
I got to see Hadi with William. They're not really comparing them together.
Hadi and William have been kept separate.
Yes. And that's the 4th and 5th for me.
You're right. I'm with that. I'd like to see that comparison. It hasn't happened yet.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line,
That's it,
please.
right there, guys.
I think that's going to be a wrap, but guess what? We have no more answers to our questions than we did before we got here. This was going to be a predictable top 6 with the exception of Dexter the Blade.
Yeah.
They're 51 years old, and these guys come in and look like this. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now they're going to work their way down to finish out that top 10 lineup, since we just got a good look at what conclusively looks like our top 6.
Top 6.
So now we're going to be talking about 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, which is still very important.
Yes.
The prize money is going all the way down to 10th place, and it's significant. And it means a lot to these guys as they make their appearances around the world to say, I'm one of the top 10 best in the world. So you can't just phone it in here either.
You've got a couple new guys that are trying to make their run. You know, Hunter Labrada, you got Regan Grimes, guys that are trying to say, yeah, I cracked the top 10 my first year.
Yeah.
I'm going to build on that.
Yeah, trust me, that is a badge of honor to wear around. I remember being outside the top 10 my first year. Well, I just said I was an Olympian. It didn't have the same ring of saying top 10 in the world.
Rami, Bill, and Brandon.
Are you ready for this?
Doing it again.
Are you ready for this?
Wow.
I love it. Make them work, man. This is what we came
So we
here
have
for.
Rami, Phil, and Brandon.
Yeah, they have a
That's
chance.
A
No, they got Hadi out there.
Oh, Hadi.
Hadi.
they
So
have
William
Hadi.
Bonek is the one that got.
There's your
John,
There you
decision.
go.
Yeah.
You said he was the
Yeah,
outsider.
I said he was the outsider. Just
There you go. Top 4.
this is where the rubber. I like to say that where the rubber meets the road, because you know, when the rubber hits the road, this is it, man.
Double bicep.
It's a sprint to the finish. See who can stay the most composed and fight through this, because it's tough right now, Rich.
Yes.
Dehydrated. These guys are on
I
low
remember,
carbs.
it was a long time ago, but I remember those days.
Yeah, exactly. You start to see those little white dots. The air seems to just disappear. You can't breathe.
Yeah.
I like Hottie's conditioning.
Yeah, he's actually got harder. If you take a good look.
Hottie is dense.
He's dense.
He's dense and hard.
Side chest.
Phil
I
almost
just think
looks like he can hit
structurally
that.
compared to the other three, he doesn't compare.
Genetically.
Yeah. And he can't, that's just his body.
Phil looked like he fell out of that front last brand. He's not hitting the pose as hard as he normally does. It's like he's moving into it, but he's not.
Back double
That's
bicep.
what we want. Keep a close eye on Phil. He has to earn this championship. They're not going to give it to him. And we are soon
can see
approaching
that.
the midnight hour, bro.
I can see they're not giving it to him. Like,
He's going to work for this.
All right, back to back. What do we?
I give this to
Back
Bill.
lat spread.
And then maybe Brandon. Back lat spread, Robbie all day. Look at that.
Robbie's wide and he's thick. And again, he's coming off a first runner-up at the Arnold Classic earlier in the year, held in March.
But he's got width and thickness in that pose.
And he's beaten Brandon before in the past.
Beat Brandon.
Never beaten Phil. Hottie Chupin is up there battling it out. We know he's probably had the toughest road to get here. Again, not a big fan of that pose on Phil. But Big Rami and Brandon is very cool.
Looks like Hottie's getting better as he keeps
Yeah,
posing.
he's the one that's getting hard out of
Yeah,
all.
he's much harder than he was from the beginning of prejudging.
Gentlemen, for the last time this evening, your
Brandon has
favorite,
good
most
abdominal
muscular.
shot.
Yes.
They all got great most muscular poses. Phil's got to hold that stomach.
Stay in line,
There you go.
It's
Look on
hard.
Phil's eyes. Phil is very intense right now.
Yes.
He knows what's at stake. History.
He wants this show bad.
But the Egyptian and the Iranian wanted just as bad too. That'd be huge. Since the last time the competition was won by Middle Easterners was Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Samir Badu, 1983.
What a great lineup we will see.
All right, so that's going to be picked up tomorrow
Tomorrow night, right
with
here
the
on stage, folks.
posing in the confirmation round. And we're going to move into the awards for the 212-pound division. Rich,
All right, we'll be right back with the
All right,
212
judges,
awards.
but there's like we got to get to the fans. Who do you like, everybody?
thank you. Good night.